Good evening. Across the Americas and around the world, you're listening to the Hour of the Time. I'm William Cooper. I want to remind you that our convention is coming up August 1st through the 5th. For CAGI members or intelligence service members, the registration fee is $100 for all 5 days. Does not include transportation, meals, or lodging. For intelligence service members who have a family membership, it's $150 for the entire family. CAGI members or intelligence service members may bring children with them at no charge, whether or not you have a family membership. Now, during those 5 days, folks, we're going to have some pretty dynamic people here. Terry Cook, probably the world's leading expert on implant technology, on the smart card, on the new card that you just heard announced on the news today that is going to be implemented, and it's going to be required that every employee have this card. It is the New World Order card, ladies and gentlemen. It's being mandated by the government, and the excuse being given is to prevent illegal aliens from obtaining employment and getting the benefits due American citizens. So Terry Cook will be here speaking, and I've already seen all his material. I've seen the implant technology. I've seen the transponders. I've got one of the needles that it's implanted with. We have all the information, and I've had most of it for some time, all except for the needle, which we just recently obtained from Terry. A. Ralph Epperson will be here. Now, this man has done some absolutely incredible work. He did the research and wrote a book entitled The Unseen Hand, which traces the Brotherhood from the dawn of history all the way up to the modern present day. He also wrote a book called The New World Order, which documents without any shadow of a doubt the participation of the Masonic Order and others in destroying this country. Bob Ross will be here, and he's going to be doing quite a few hours on sovereignty, state citizenship, who you are, what you are, how you got that way, and what you need to do to get straight. Anthony Hilder will be here talking about the free world order. In other words, if we're not going to have a new world order, what are we going to have, and how are we going to have it, and what's it mean? Well, he's been involved in this stuff for a long time, and he's sort of come up with an idea that I think is not the first time anybody's voiced this idea, but he has some methods of implementing it that I think are unique and important. Also, the inventor and builder of the long-range rifle will be here, and a few others. Linda Thompson is going to be here, and I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen this dynamite lady in person, you don't want to miss this, folks. It's going to be an incredible week. All day long, we're going to be learning and talking and getting to know each other, and in the evenings, I venture that there will be long, intimate conversations probably way into the night as people get together who have the same ideas and the same feelings and the same love for this country that have never had a chance to even see or meet each other before, all working in the same organization toward the same goal, which is to collect the information that is so important to all of us. Information, not money, is the power of the 90s. We are engaged in a great battle, ladies and gentlemen. No one is sure of what the outcome will be, but nevertheless, we must fight the good fight. On the last day, we'll spend that day on the range with the long-range rifle and some other weapons, letting everyone get a little familiar with some of the weapons available legally. And we're not going to teach anybody how to be an expert in anything. We're just going to let you see what's available that you too can purchase and learn how to use, and let you fire a few rounds. We'll have the long-range rifle out there. Anybody who wants to fire it may. I've got to warn you, you better have a tough shoulder, and you better have some earplugs, because that rifle is a mother, if you know what I mean. It will bite you back. But I'll tell you what, if you know how to shoot it, folks, you can keep the enemy at bay at 1 mile, and they can't touch you without artillery and air support. And by the time they bring that in, you can be long gone. And that's the idea. Tonight on the program, folks, make sure you got pen and paper, because you're going to hear some stuff that you're probably going to wish you hadn't heard. But before we get into it, let me give you the address so that you can write for information. If you'd like to join the intelligence service, the fee is $100 for a single person, $150 for a family. You may send that to, or you may just send a request for information along with $1 and a self-addressed stamped number 10 size envelope to the Intelligence Service, Post Office Box 1420, Sholo, spelled S-H-O-W-L-O-W, Arizona 85901. That's the Intelligence Service. P.O. Box 1420, Sholo, Arizona 85901. Registration for the convention, folks, is $100 for single CAGI or Intelligence Service members, $150 for Intelligence Service family members who have family memberships, and that's for the whole family, folks. And for anybody else, $250, no exceptions. Don't go away, and don't miss one word of tonight's broadcast.
Glad you could make it. Welcome to the new world order. Never in human history has so few taken so much from so many as America's Illuminati and their warlords of Wall Street and Washington. In just 8 years, these banksters and international government gangsters took us from the greatest creditor nation to the largest debtor nation on earth. Our standard of living has dropped like a rock for 4 out of every 5 Americans. They have foreclosed on our homes, our farms, our factories. They've exported your jobs and surrendered our arms. They want it. A new world order. A new world order. A new world order. A new world order.
Psychological warfare has been waged against America for much of this century. This war for the mind of the public has been facilitated by the emergence of mass media and the transformation of American education by behavioral psychologists. In the book 1984, George Orwell warned that people were in danger of losing their human qualities and freedom of mind without being aware of it while it was happening, because of psychological, emotional, and intellectual manipulation. Mind control. Mind control in America. The most effective way to protect yourself from subconscious manipulation is by being aware of how it works. What the conscious mind believes, the subconscious acts on. It works like programming a computer. Information is fed into a computer, and the computer acts on it. However, if the information fed into the computer is wrong, it still acts on it. If a person believes something that is not true, the memory banks of the subconscious mind do not correct the error, but act on it. The theory of cognitive dissonance holds that the mind automatically and involuntarily rejects information not in line with previously accepted thoughts and beliefs. Many of the things that people believe are never questioned, especially when the information has come from a reliable source. It becomes easy to lose sight of why people believe some of the things that they do.
Unser Führer, Adolf Hitler, sich.
People can be led to believe something that is not true when that information is carefully timed and presented by an accepted and respected authority. The purpose of propaganda is to direct public attention to certain facts.
The whole art consists in doing this so skillfully that everyone will be convinced that the fact is real,
wrote Adolf Hitler in Mein Kampf. To be effective, propaganda must constantly short-circuit all conscious thinking and operate on the individual subconsciously. The principles behind the big lie of propaganda are the same principles of mind control, hypnotic suggestion, mental programming, distraction, and repetition. Distraction focuses the attention of the conscious mind on one or more of the five senses in order to stop conscious thinking, thus producing a state of mind that is similar to daydreaming. Think of the times you have caught yourself staring blankly at the television screen, losing all sense of time and place. When you stop conscious thinking and your mind goes blank, this is the hypnotic state of mind. This altered state occurs naturally, but can also be induced by clever manipulation. Think of the times you have seen flashing words in TV commercials. The flashing words are a distraction for your eyes to lock onto in order to induce hypnosis. The purpose of this is to reduce any resistance to the message by stopping all thought and analysis. Watching television often produces an altered state of consciousness. Though not consciously perceived, the television screen, while appearing static, actually flickers. Any repeating light or sound pattern can lead you into an altered state. A hypnotist uses pattern speech by varying the pacing and inflection of his voice to induce the state of mind in his subject. It is in this state of mind where one is the most receptive to mental programming. Whether or not the information takes hold in the mind depends on two factors: trust in the source of the information and repetition of the message. Trust in the source of the information induces acceptance of the message as true, even if it is not understood. Repetition of the message embeds it in the subconscious so that acceptance of its truth and accuracy becomes a conditioned response. Thus, this information will be accepted as true without thinking about it whenever it is presented again. Subliminal perception is the process whereby you receive and respond to visual and sound information without being aware of it. The message in the form of printed words, pictures, or voices is presented either so rapidly or so faintly that you are not consciously aware of having seen or heard anything. In 1957, marketing researcher and psychologist James Vickery tested subliminal ads in a New Jersey movie theater. The messages, "Hungry? Eat popcorn," and "Drink Coca-Cola," were flashed on the screen at 1/3000th of a second every 5 seconds during the movie. Sales increased for popcorn and Coca-Cola.